Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the National Exhibit Centre, which is over here. Before we go in, I just want to show you this beautiful sunrise over here. It's a beautiful winter day, so this is Resorts World. If you're ever in halls 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is where the classic motor show is, which is what we're here to see today, definitely check it out because there's loads of bars and restaurants. So rather than be stuck in traffic after the show, just go there, have something to eat, and then head on home.
There's so much to see here with 3,000 cars and 300 clubs. There's auctions, there's sales, there's restoration works. There's a lot going on. So I've managed to run around after my day job today, just working in the ticket booth here. But I'll give a good overview for you. I'm going to do more of a highlight reel today because I've been running around just trying to film as much as I can.
Alright, so I managed to spend just over 2 hours there after work. But I'll start off with what I liked about the show, because it's the first show that I've been to which just featured all these cars. So you can really see the 100 years of car design and evolution. I really like the kind of bold classic looks, you know, like if you think about the, say, American gangster movies back in the day where people leaning in and out with like Tommy guns and stuff like that. Those are the cars that I personally like, and you probably see it in the video actually where I kind of focused a little bit more on these. Now the show offered a lot for everyone, so for example there was quite a lot of food stalls in there and coffee stalls. Now if I had somebody who's a young person, like a nephew or like a teenage son or something, I'd definitely take them to a show like this, mostly because it's something might be there that just inspires them to go off and do something like mechanical engineering or something, or design. There's a lot of different cars there. So for example, on screen at the moment I've got the the Back to the Future cars, the DeLoreans. Really like them. You can actually hire them, I seen on the sign there. You also got a lot of different merchandise and gifts as well, so even though if cars aren't totally for you, then there is something there the show can offer. They also had an auction there. I managed to record a little bit of the auction, but the sound on the GoPro wasn't really that great. But to be in the auction, my understanding was you had to actually pay £10 to actually bid on the car. I don't know whether you got that money back if you would, let's say, win a car, but you could stand and watch on the outskirts of it. Now, there's quite a lot of art feature work around as well, which I quite enjoyed. A lot of tables and chairs, different crafts things. So one thing that comes to mind was the from Top Gear, where they turn an engine into like a coffee table. There's a lot of that type of stuff. There's also a few concept ideas as well. For example, changing old classic cars into electric cars. So there was a company that offered that service there. I think there was actually two thinking about it. But there's a lot of like merchandise, as I mentioned, and there. Carers were free as well, which I quite liked. Now, I've worked at the NEC on and off over the years on lots of different shows. Now, halls 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, which is where the most of it was held, and in Hall 8. Now, if you don't get around so easy, To get from hall, say 1 to 2, there are some stairs, and it's the same if you're going from 4 to 5. There are stairs. Now you can go out into the main hallway, and there are ramps, and there is an escalator. But when I was on crutches, for example, after my accident, getting around wasn't that fun for me. So bear that in mind if you're not light on your feet. You can get things like wheelchairs and mobility scooters hired from the NEC. I think they're around £15 usually, but I can't remember. You had to pay for parking on top of your ticket. Now, let me go on to the prices on that. Okay, for adults, it was I think around £37.50 to £40. Children were like £17.50 to £20, something around that price mark. I thought I took a picture of the sign, but as I'm recording this, it's actually 3 shows away, and also about 3 weeks of what I've done. Just to note as well, parking was extra. I think it was about £17 on top of that as well. I do know Starbucks coffee for a large one was about. Now the price is probably going to change for 2024. What I also liked as well is that you could really plan your journey. So if you went to the NEC's website, you could download the show guide for free to like really have a little look of what you wanted to see and tick off everything. So the show guide was free for this one. I've worked at other shows where they're like really extortionate at £10, but this one was free, which was pretty good. Two of the questions I get asked mostly when I'm at the NEC is, can you go in and out of the halls? Yes, absolutely, you can go in and out. Usually you show a ticket on the way in and you get a stamp on the way out. So out in the main concourse, there's on both sides of the NEC. So if you're on the other side of the halls, you do have a Starbucks, you do have a Wetherspoons, and there's a few of those type of places. Subway Sandwich as well. I mean, they are slightly more elevated prices than your regular high street ones. But you can go in and out, and there's toilets also inside the halls and outside the halls. Circling back to the ticket prices as well, there's actually you could buy a 2 or 3 day pass, which I think was around £70 to £80. So if you wanted to really take your time and really have a little look around, then that may be the way to go. There are hotels in the local area, so you can literally just roll out of bed and straight to the NEC. Now obviously they're going to be quite a bit of an extra cost. So, although the show may have been, let's say, £40 for a ticket, it did have a lot to offer, and you would spend the whole day. I mean, I just ran around over a short period of time, and I really didn't see that much, to be honest. There's so many. I mean, as I started off, there's 3,000 different vehicles in this show, all over the world, different brands, different styles. There's 300 exhibitors there. There's 300 motor clubs as well. So if you're really just starting to get out into motoring, you can go and speak to them. There's also some university groups there as well, kind of showcasing what they're kind of working on at the moment. So I've spoke to those type of guys on a lot of different shows, and they're quite knowledgeable, and they're really like pushing for like knowledge for people to learn. Talking about learning, there's theatres where you've got lots of different shows, and they talk about lots of different topics, and you can see that in the show guide, again, totally for free. They also have a restoration theatre. Now I only walked past there at the end of the day. I can imagine they're just going to tell you how to make some stuff look nice and shiny. Now I'll leave the 2023 show guide link in the description, so you can have a little look through. So the car shows are probably going to be quite similar each year for the Classic Motor Show, so you can have a quick look through it, and then you can do some research on the tickets for next year. Now this isn't usually my style of video that I do. Usually it's more kind of storytelling, and I live a very nomadic lifestyle. So as I'm recording this, I'm actually glamping in a shed right now. So I'm actually at the Bath and West Showground working on a home design show, and last week I was doing something else as well. So very different all the time. Mostly focuses around sailing, fishing, outdoor living. So I was actually going to go wild camping rather than stay in this shed, but because it's winter now, I didn't really fancy going out. Plus, obviously, I've got to actually turn up to work. So, but yeah, if you want to check out the other videos, so for example, So, like, the reason that I ended up on crutches was I saved someone's life, rescuing them out of a car wreck, basically, on the way to build a promotional stand. Now, the video is going to be in the kind of end plug on there, but I'm just going to leave it for now for the voiceover and just leave you with some music, I guess, so you can just enjoy the cars rather than my lovely voice. So, yeah, have a great day, guys, and yeah, like and subscribe. Thanks.